It looks like we have some breaking news that was just handed to me. It seems as if people have been misusing the IR spot and not using it for COVID players like it was created for and explicitly said. Screenshots have proved that, but people were just using it for injured players, some even using it for injured players on bye weeks. I have all the details here. First, I just want to say I will release this report in its entirety to break down every move, but I'm going to crack down on the violators here, our biggest offenders. Biggest offender, I think, is going to be Andy Ritz. So he will be deducted 10 points in Week 7. He will be deducted, looks like about 24 points in Week 8. That's between Zach Ertz and Kenyon Drake going on the IR. Kenyon Drake stayed on the IR in Week 9, and he's going to lose another about 19 points in Week 9. And then Week 10, again, David Johnson to the IR. Derek Carr starting, so that's going to cost him 7.16 points. Trent, also, he's going to get costed 14.5 points for keeping Nick Chubb on the IR. He did pick up Nick Chubb before there was an IR spot, so that's why that is just the punishment there. He did not use the IR in other weeks. And then the biggest one, Chris. This one is going to be earth-shaking, but Chris is going to be costed 26.8 points in Week 8 for Corey Davis, who he added when he moved Miles Sanders to the IR. That is going to flip the game and bring him to a loss against Mike Dearington. Used to be a win, now Chris gets a loss there. And then this week, Chris had Mecole Hardman, who's on a bye week, on his IR. Added Miles Sanders to the roster. He scored 13.5 points. That game is still to be determined, but he will be subtracted those Miles Sanders points. So in addition to losing the points, some other punishments. First, Trent, I allowed you into the league. You're marrying my sister. And how am I repaid? By you misusing the IR. I just feel super betrayed. Absolutely betrayed how you went behind my back and misused the IR. You were in the Zoom meeting where we discussed the rules. I feel like there's a knife in my back. Therefore, Trent, your team name is now the Benedict Arnolds for the rest of the year. So, Trent, you have to change your team name to the Benedict Arnolds. Andy, you tried to play dumb, but we caught you using the IR, misusing it. You tried to use my own words against me. So your punishment, Benny, the whistleblower who brought all this to my attention. Benny, you get to select Andy's team name for the rest of the year. Andy, you have to follow that rule. Chris, you've already had a win turned into a loss, so that is punishment enough. Again, full report will be released shortly.